Here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go. Check the From the Shore to Be More show. Coming through strong with that podcast flow. The afternoon at 2 to 3 p.m. slot. Got the Interstate 95 Turnpike hot. When you tune in, they don't just entertain. They come with the message that presses the brain. Those other podcasts, they seem microscopic. Cause they're the big dogs that drop the hot topics. So sure, be more dumb. You just stay ready for DJ Boom, Shaheem, and on Kerry. Put them together, there's a treacherous string. From the tri-state area to the DMV. So sit back, relax, get your Sundays on. On after morning, gone before dawn. That positive vibe that we hitting so strong. With this podcast show, you can't go wrong. So, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go.
What's up, everybody?
Yo, here we go, here we go.
Here we go, here we go.
Once again, it's good to see everybody back again to see with this episode of From the Shore to Be More. I am one of your hosts, the entertainer extraordinaire, Shaheem.
I am Deborah Singletary, aka Aunt Debbie.
What's up, everybody? It's yours truly, DJ Boom, here in the building, making it do what it do every Sunday along with you. What's happening, everybody?
It's good to see everybody back. And of course,
Yeah.
we are the treacherous three of the tri-state area and the DMV. You heard?
There you go, just like that. Just like that. Look, y'all, I'm back in full setup mode. I got my microphone. I got my lap. I'm back in full setup mode here for the first time in a long time. We in the building.
I like it.
Thanks for the noise. Come on, let's go.
Yes, we like it when you're fully involved. The show is much better when you're fully involved, and we have a good topic, a really good topic for you guys. When Debbie suggested this one, I want to say that up front. This is going to be based on the effects of gender disparities in men, and we're going to talk all about that. We're going to get into it. Very important topic. I know you're going to enjoy it. But before we jump into all that, I've got to jump into this. Last week's show was on holidays. That was a great show. It was a lot of fun, wasn't it, guys?
It
I
was.
loved it.
It was a lot of fun. So people out there, fans, family, if you missed the show, you can go back and watch the show on YouTube or anywhere. We're available everywhere, folks. I can't stress that enough. You can watch that or one of the other many episodes of From the Shore to Be More that you might have missed. And please, don't forget to subscribe. Subscriptions help people. I can't stress that enough. All right? Also, I want to mention, while I'm talking about going back and watching the other episodes.
I don't want to do the last word now.
Not yet. No, what I wanted to mention is that people, you can reach out to us on Facebook. Boom will be monitoring Facebook. So he will be putting up your comments and everything. So make sure you check us out on Facebook too. There we go. All right. How was everybody's week?
Good.
I had a great week. Yeah, it was pretty good. I was able to sit home and get my house together. See my piano in the background, people? I was able to play it a little bit, all that.
You're so full of bull crappy. That ain't none of his house. That ain't none of his house, y'all. That's one of them ciphering things them young people be doing on the Zoom.
Oh my goodness. I've never experienced such hate. I've never experienced.
Why you blow my man up like that? No, but what I was going to ask you, Boom, was how was your Thanksgiving meal that you prepared? You made a chicken what?
Oh,
meal?
listen,
I'm sorry.
I made a chicken Alfredo lasagna.
Right. Chicken Alfredo lasagna.
And when I tell y'all, it was, man.
It was good, huh?
Man, I wish I could wrap some up and send it to y'all. Y'all could taste it yourselves, but whew, man, oh man, oh man. I took some to some of my people at Catch and they
Oh
came
wow.
back to me and was like, "Yo, you just a man of many talents." I said, "I'll be trying. I make it do what it need to be done." You know what I mean? I made a
I'm
I made
glad
a
to hear
carrot
that.
I made a carrot cake as well. That's my favorite, so I made a carrot cake as
It's one
well.
of my favorites too. Funny you mentioned that. That is definitely one of my favorites, boy. Ooh, people, if you don't know carrot cake, you missing something. You
Right.
missing something. I'm gonna say
I
that.
I am definitely a carrot cake fan for sure.
Oh, Debbie, how was your Thanksgiving?
Well, everybody knows that Aunt Debbie is not the cooking aunt, but I did roast a chicken and make some greens and potato salad for myself. And since Shaheem said that black folk don't eat pumpkin pie, I made a sweet potato pie, but I added some pumpkin into it.
Oh
So I
wow.
guess that
Okay.
makes me what, biracial? I had pumpkin and sweet potato. And baby, it was
Oh,
good.
it sounds like it was good. It sounds
You
like it
you
was
see how
good.
you got to give that extra. I'm telling you, and when
Yeah.
I tell you, boy,
Yeah.
oh boy, oh my goodness, it was absolutely delicious, y'all. I mean, mm.
You guys are making me wish I was at you guys' houses.
What about you, Shaheem? What did you guys
Thanksgiving
do?
was amazing. Aside from all the food and everything, I just love being around family. For me, that's one of the most important things, especially now that we're all getting older. So it was a beautiful thing. And that being said, I just want to shout out my sister Angela, who hosted Thanksgiving. I wasn't there. I cooked here, but I wanted to mention it because my mom, who doesn't make it out often, made it down to Maryland, to Delaware, excuse me, to her house to see her and had a great time. So I definitely want to shout them out. But Thanksgiving was beautiful. For us, it
Absolutely,
always is. Yeah,
absolutely. My sisters actually went up there with them
they
to
did.
celebrate Thanksgiving, which was pretty cool.
I should have grabbed
Again,
one of the pictures. I should have posted one of the pictures. That's my fault. Sorry, guys. Next time.
it's all good. It's all good. But
Yeah,
yeah. Shout out to them all. You know, what I mean, I got to make
yeah.
my way at some point. I got to definitely make my way back to Jersey and see my aunties there. Um,
Oh man,
you
yes,
know,
yes, 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 yes,
to
yes.
show
Yes.
love
Everybody's
and
getting older.
yeah, for sure. So
Yes, yes, yes.
I don't know. After this DC, Virginia, LA trip, I'm gonna have to do something to come up that way and hang out at least for the weekend.
Right, right. Oh, Deb, I'm not gonna let you off the hook. You're supposed to be showing us some art, though.
Oh, I used to want to say hello to. Oh, bye, sweetheart. That's my sweetheart who's
Oh,
leaving.
Debbie's got a man, folks.
He's leaving. So, I didn't take a photograph, but this
Okay.
is the piece I've just completed. It's called
Oh.
"Those Who Have Ears to Listen."
Oh
And
wow.
the story was inspired by the little girl. You ever see like adults are in the kitchen, or in this case they're in the back porch talking, and
Okay.
there's a child that's taking in everything. This is
Yep.
Oh
that
yeah.
child that's taking in everything. And so that's a wise woman in training.
I'm gonna show my age here and say that back in my day, the adults used to call that ear hustling.
Ear hustling.
Ear hustling when the little kids be in the background listening, you know.
I like that. Gosh, I might have to retitle it Ear Hustling. Yeah,
yeah,
honey.
yeah. I'm showing my age now.
I
Mm,
didn't do a lot of I didn't want to be around adults. I it was boring. So the only adults I cared to be around was my dad and Uncle Jamie when he came around because they came around with money. So
Well, I mean, it's funny because I would think that maybe the little girls probably do it more.
I think the girls
I,
do it
I think
more.
the girls do it
Yeah,
more.
yeah,
Right.
because we're receptive. We have a
Okay.
receptive spirit.
Okay. Because I can
Men are
many
out
times.
going, do, boys going, do.
Right.
That's what it means to be a positive sign, masculine, and the feminine's power is receptive and listening and receiving.
There you have it, folks. You're learning something every day when you watch this show. Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
yeah, yeah,
But
I
men
agree
could
with you on
could
that.
stand to do more of the feminine um, value, and women could maybe stand to do more of the masculine because we both have masculine and female within. So we really need to learn to balance both. Thank you, Terry, for that compliment.
By the way, I'm gonna need a picture. I definitely want a picture. I have more than enough walls in here to hang pictures up, so I definitely need an Aunt Debbie picture to hang up in my new home. So
There you go. There you go.
Hey, drive by and pick one out.
oh my goodness, I gotta drive.
All right, just somebody
Uh,
Well,
keep
if
this
you want
moving.
to take it framed, you want me to? I could send you a print, and you could frame it yourself. How's that?
It's always an option.
well, yeah, that'll work. Listen, New York. I was just there. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't. I am not a fan. I'll come there and work if I have to, but I don't like it. It took me 20 minutes to literally go around the corner. Like, what in the? How do you live in this place? 20 minutes to circle the block.
Well, on Debbie,
Public
hooked you up with a place, I'm
transportation.
sure.
That's how I do it. Public
can't.
transportation.
And public transportation. I don't live there. I got things I got to do. I got to be driving.
There you go. Well,
Well,
Debbie
come to
said
my
yes,
house,
then
leave off your car, and
sure.
take Uber. Oh no, Uber has
Oh,
to
yeah.
drive. Yeah, no. Well, sorry, baby, I can't help you.
Listen, as long as I'm not driving, I don't care.
I just want to keep the ball rolling real fast and just mention football. It is football Sunday, folks. So shout out to all the football teams playing today. I will shout out my New York New York Giants, excuse me, who are playing the Patriots today. Hopefully we get a victory. We ain't playing for much, but what we are playing for, and people say they should throw the games, is that first round draft pick. Well, whatever. Shout out to the New York Giants.
Shout out to the Giants. And y'all see my shirt. You know what I mean? Y'all see my shirt. My team was winners on Thanksgiving Day. So
they did win that game, and
absolutely.
I just knew they were going to lose that game. They pulled that game off. So shout out, definitely shout out to them.
They better stop playing with him. They better stop playing with Jordan Love. They talked about him real bad because Aaron Rodgers is not there. But Aaron Rodgers, if you look back at it, they don't know this, but he had the same stats that Jordan Love had when he took over for Brett Favre. And now look how great he is. So stop playing with that boy. He here to stay for sure.
Wow. All right, well, shout out to the Green Bay Packers. And to everybody, all the football fans out there, if you want to shout out your team, you can. Just comment, put in the comments and hit us up on Facebook, and we'll shout your team out. Anybody but the Cowboys and the Eagles. They're off the list. That's off limits. That's too far. But any other team you want to shout out? Any other team?
No. I ain't shouting out no Patriots. I ain't shouting out no Steelers. I ain't shouting out none of them.
That ain't right. Y'all ain't right.
Shame on you if you like them teams. That's your problem. Don't make it out.
No, I'm not doing that.
What about the Lakers?
That's basketball.
That's my squad. That's basketball, but that's my
basketball,
squad right there.
We're going to keep the ball rolling, folks. That's all right.
Now if it's your birthday, get on up. Now if it's your birthday, get on up. Now if it's your birthday, if it's your birthday, if it's your birthday, get on up. Now if it's your birthday, get on up. Now if it's your birthday, get on up.
Now, if it's your birthday, get on up.
Shout out to everybody out there celebrating their birthday today or in the past week or in the upcoming week. We love to celebrate your birthdays with you because we appreciate it, and I'm sure just like you do, you having another year on this planet. So shout out to all the birthday people. You guys got anybody?
If it's your birthday, get on up.
Yeah, I love it.
So my nephew Ralph, I think he had a birthday, or was it his son RJ, Ralph Jr. had a birthday that was just recently celebrated. My brother's birthday was on Thanksgiving Day. We shouted him out last week, but hey,
I
twice.
think Sam, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. How about you, Boom?
I just have a homegirl. Obviously, Ralph is related to me too. So shout out to whichever one it was, Ralph or Ralph Jr. And I got a homegirl whose birthday was the day after Thanksgiving. So shout out to her. Happy birthday to her, Miss Brianna Richardson. Um, we had a couple celebrities in the month of November that we didn't mention happy birthday to. So I'm gonna try to get through it real fast, as many as I can. Eve celebrated a birthday this month. Tracy Morgan celebrated a birthday this month. Corey Hardrick celebrated a birthday this month. Mr. Scarface himself celebrated a birthday. Cisco celebrated a birthday this month. SZA celebrated a birthday. Whole lot of people celebrated a birthday in the month. And Tandy Newton, one of my favorite actresses, celebrated a birthday this month as well. So, and Odell Beckham Jr.'s birthday was earlier and on in the month.
I shouted him out. But
yeah.
I want to shout out. I got some personal people I want to shout out though. Real fast. Of course, I mentioned my nephew's birthdays last week, which just passed. But I'm so proud of them boys. I'm just going to mention them again. Baru and Jalen, happy birthday to you guys, for sure. But most important for me is it is my father's 75th birthday.
I know that's right, Uncle Jay.
Wow. He's handsome.
That's
75 years. I know that's right.
Birthday, and of course that's so special to me and my family. And I just want to say happy birthday to my dad. As you can see him smiling in the picture, he has a smile much like mine, nice and bright. And of course you see the picture over there with me and my dad as when I was a kid. Yes, I'm a light and bright one. If you haven't figured it out, and that's my brother, my older brother Gerald.
I thought you was the one with the hat on
in the picture. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. But no, I'm the light and bright one. My father means the world to me. We, like every father's son, we have bumped heads in the past, and you have those moments. But I can't express to you enough how much my father means to me. Growing up, he was my hero. So again. Happy birthday, Dad. Enjoy your day.
Happy birthday, Uncle Jay, for sure.
That's
happy birthday, Jay.
Most important to me. But back to celebrity. Speaking of celebrities, today, on this very day, we have some celebrities that I know everybody recognizes. And so I definitely want to shout them out. First, I'm going to do this one. DJ Khaled. Today is his birthday, so I want to shout out. Everybody knows Khaled. DJ Khaled. If you ever been listen to the radio, I'm sure.
Hey yo, check this out, it's DJ Khaled.
There you go. There you go. Happy birthday to DJ Khaled. But I also want to say this one, and I'm sure even on Debbie will really appreciate this one. It's Tina Turner.
All right now. Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. The icon herself. Now, I didn't even go into how old she is. No need. She's an older person. Let's just leave it at that. But we're glad she's still around. So happy birthday.
No, she's not.
She's not.
She's not. That's right. I'm sorry. But I want to say happy birthday to Tina Turner out of respect. And, of course, out of love for her music. So happy
Absolutely.
birthday.
Thank you, Tina.
Thank you.
Wild woman, Tina.
Yeah.
Couple of more celebrities. Your boy Don Cheadle celebrates a birthday on the 29th. We won't be on the air to celebrate it. So, no. John Cheadle, The Game on the 29th. Mr. Chadwick Boseman, known as the Black Panther to everybody. His birthday is the 29th. Russell Wilson's birthday is the 29th. Michael Blackston, the comedian, his birthday is the 28th.
Oh, I love that guy. I love
Trey Songz is the 28th. Robin Givens' birthday is tomorrow. Is today the 27th? Today is the 26th. Tomorrow's the 27th. Robin Givens celebrates a birthday, and Mr. Jaleel White, a.k.a. Steve Urkel, celebrates a birthday tomorrow. So shout out to the Sages in the building.
Any birthdays on Facebook?
I'm sure there are. Let's see. I'm writing it right now. Facebook birthdays. If it's your birthday, get on up. Say it. If it's your birthday,
the
get on up.
ones who are ringing in saying it's my birthday. Don't go to that long list.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I wouldn't go through a long list anyway. It's not really a long list. Yeah, it's about 5 people's birthdays today, and you won't know any of them, so it's no point of saying it.
All right. That's okay. Well, happy birthday to everybody
Done with
celebrating a
that.
birthday
Done
today,
with
or
that.
one that's passed, or one that's coming up. Happy birthday to everybody.
It was your birthday. Get on up. I'm loving that song. I swear, I would sing that all day, every day.
I be wanting to let it ride, but I be trying to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And keeping it moving, I want to just go through this.
You know, I guess right now we should start the show.
Mm, mm, mm.
Got one.
TV and movie.
I got one.
Oh, good. I want to hear.
Maxine's Baby, the Tyler Perry story.
Oh man, my wife started watching a
Very,
little bit.
very moving and enlightening.
Yes.
I,
That's a good
I,
one on Debbie.
I heard about that. My sister was recommended to watch that, because she's a playwright, and somebody had suggested for her to watch, and she had mentioned it to me. So I might watch it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's on Prime, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
My wife started watching a little bit of it, and I will say it was well done. It was well done. Tyler's story is amazing, people, but I don't think I can tell everybody that. I think most of us know at least some of his story. But when you hear it and you see him talk about it and everything, it's really touching. I would tell anybody to go back and definitely check that out.
Well, I
What
will.
I liked about it was they handled the haters very well. They didn't just say, "Oh, what a great man am I." They also talked about the people, or you heard from people who thought
Right.
he was a buffoonery or his
Right.
characters were buffoons,
Right.
and they didn't like a black man essentially in drag. Some people called him Tranny Perry, So I like that they also talked
Yes.
about. You heard from people who didn't like what he does, as well as
No.
the overwhelming majority who do.
Right.
Which I thought was a little crazy because men dressing up as women didn't start with Tyler Perry, folks. Not at all. For me in my era, I remember most famously Flip Wilson.
Absolutely. I was going to say
And
go all the way back to him.
and he, yeah,
You old, Shaheem. You old
yeah,
now.
right, yeah, right, yeah, right. But
Listen,
just like
what?
but just like wine, I get better with time. Better believe it.
Well,
people.
that is true. You do.
Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing, and it transitioned to other folks doing it, like Martin Lawrence, like Jamie Foxx, dressing up in women's clothes.
Yeah. So I didn't understand the hate.
People got to have something to talk about.
It seems
But
like it.
But what I was told, if they're not talking about you, you ain't relevant. So you know what I mean.
Yes, sir.
So I take all of that on those shoulders as well, because people always got something to say about DJ Boom. Good, bad, or indifferent, always got something to say. So I understand that all too well.
Well, I'm sure we're all happy for Tyler's success, and yes, go see the movie documentary Maxine's Baby. People, I think you're gonna love it. If you're not watching us,
here's another cliffhanger. It'll leave you on the edge of your seats. I watched this movie yesterday. It's called Don't Let Go, and it's on. I believe it's on Peacock. If you have Peacock, you subscribe to Peacock. It's called Don't Let Go. It's a thriller type drama sort of thing. It was pretty good. It had me on edge. I was like, okay, this. If a movie gets you to the point where you're getting frustrated, you don't want to watch it no more, that means it's a good movie. Because now you're making me mad. It's grabbing me now. So I think that would be a good one to check out. You got a Saturday or Sunday to yourself. It's called
Is
Don't Let
the
Go.
ending decent? Because I can't take it when they let me go and they drop me and I'm all down.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Okay,
I'm telling you, it had me talking to the TVs. What the heck? Come on, you know what I mean when it grab you like that.
Well, for me, I wanted to extend I had such a long list of holiday movies. I extended it, so I hope that's okay. And everybody's getting into the holiday spirits now too, so I'm gonna shout that out anyway. Thanksgiving is over. Everybody's racing. I saw people getting their trees already. Already. I've seen cars riding down the road with their trees on their roofs already. And folks, please, you never commented on whether you like real trees or fake trees. Please comment on that. But I kept the holiday thing going. And so here's a couple of more of my favorite holiday movies. And I hope that's okay. I'm going to start. And boom, you mentioned this one. But oh, man, oh, boy. A Charlie Brown Christmas. This one... That one, come on, people. That's got to be definitely on everybody's top 10 list. It's just got to be. And I'm going to run through them fast, folks, to keep it moving. This is another one, and my wife really loved this one, and so she demanded that I put this one up. This Christmas, people. It was pretty good. It was pretty good, and it has Chris Brown in it, Idris Elba for people. And I think you're really going to love that one. But also, this one too for me. A Christmas Story with Ralphie.
That's a classic right there.
That is a classic. When my man got stuck to the pole because he licked it. Oh, man.
Right there. One of the pictures right up there. Absolutely. That's a classic right there.
I thought so. And I think that should be on people's top 10 list too. But also, I wanted to just mention this one real fast because I saw this and I thought it was great. And boom, I'm sure you can appreciate this. Blue Beetle. I just saw this yesterday. I had a lot of fun watching it with my son. So, family, if you're sitting around and you're not watching us, you might want to just check out Blue Beetle today.
That's the one I'm waiting to
on
see.
Max, by the way.
That's the one I haven't seen yet. Okay, I'll check that out today then.
It's on Max, people, and that is my must-see TV.
But wait a minute. Y'all talk about classic, and y'all showed me that little boy. That ain't no classic. That's recent. Here's classic.
Okay.
What is it called? A Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah.
Fooey. It's like that's a pretty good one too. That was a good movie. And so was Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh my God, what is wrong with you? Y'all
never seen it.
Y'all be old and y'all young. I mean, come on.
No, you know what? I'm going to say
no, y'all, because I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw them both. Miracle on 34th Street.
And A Christmas Carol. A Christmas Carol is very nice. There's one with Picard on Star Trek. He's not Picard, but a character. Right. Very good. All right, I'm done. Whatever.
That's a long list of movies that you can go check out during this Sunday when you're not watching us, folks. So there you have it. Enjoy. All right, let's keep it moving. Just like I do every week, I want to remind people that you can contact the show. We encourage you to please contact the show. Reach out to us, whether you want to be part of one of the games that we play, or you want to be, you have something to say about Must See TV, or whatever you want to do. You can contact us. Please contact us at our Instagram is at From the Shore to Be More. Our Twitter is at 2_Be More. Our email is fromtheshore@gmail.com, or you can call the show at 732-440-9314. If we do not answer, please leave a message and someone will return the call. Also, I have to remind people about donations. People, we need your donations, not to keep the show going, but to keep the show growing. Very important that we get your support. And so you can help us by sending donations to Cash App, $, From the Shore Be More, or to PayPal, paypal.me/From the Shore to Be More. Now it's time to get into this very, very, very important topic. That being said, I want to show a video, the video that on Debbie you sent to us, that for me sparked the whole thing. Is that all right?
Go for it, man.
I don't know, Boom, if you had a chance to check it out, but check it out. We're going to have a serious conversation about this. But here we go, folks.
Mind, and sometimes into despair. Lee Cowan takes a closer look.
At the University of Vermont not too long ago, it was move-in day for the class of 2027.
It's from my hometown.
About 1,000 incoming freshmen were meeting their roommates, finding their dorm rooms, and just generally getting settled on campus.
592 is that way.
Now, you'd be forgiven if at first glance you thought that this was an all-women's college. Well, 62% of this year's class are women.
Josie, what's your roommate's name?
And that's a gender gap that has earned Burlington, Vermont, a nickname, Girlington.
You see 6 or 7 women for every 3 or 4 men.
Yeah. As UVM's vice provost for enrollment, Jay Jacobs' job is all about student diversity. And these days, the male-female divide is now part of that equation.
Sure, I thought about racial and ethnic diversity. Right. Sure, at a public flagship in the state of Vermont, I've thought about geographic diversity, never gender diversity like that.
But that's where we are.
That's where we are.
UVM, though, is hardly an outlier. Nationwide, women do make up almost 60% of college undergraduates. In 1972, when Title IX was passed to help improve gender equality on campus, men were 13 percentage points more likely to get an undergraduate degree than women. Today, though, it's women who are 15 percentage points more likely to get a degree than men.
So we have a bigger gender gap today than we did when we passed laws to help women and girls. It's just flipped.
Richard Reeves is a Brookings Institution senior fellow, and he says, shockingly, no one has really been able to explain why so many men are so absent in higher education. What is known is the gender disparity starts pretty early as kindergarten, where girls are just generally the stronger sex in academics.
If you look at high school GPA, and those who are getting the best grades in high school, 2/3 of them are girls. Those with the lowest grades, 2/3 of them are boys.
It's been theorized that girls and women are just really fulfilling their destiny, that once the limitations on their achievements were lifted, they soared. Reeves, though, is so worried that he's launched the American Institute for Boys and Men because he fears that things have changed so fast, it's left many boys and men struggling to catch up, not just in the classroom, but at work and at home, too.
What does it mean to be a successful man today? That was a question that was pretty easy to answer a generation or two ago. But actually, what is the answer today? And a lot of these guys just don't know.
In short, he says, millions of boys and men don't understand how or where they fit anymore. And the reaction is to generally disconnect.
Men's participation in the labor market, for example, has dropped more than 7 percentage points just in the last 50 years.
21% of men report binge drinking. That's almost double the rate of women. And men account for nearly 80% of suicide deaths. That's 4 times the rate for women.
The 2 most commonly used words by suicidal men to describe themselves were useless and worthless.
But even to suggest there's some kind of male crisis these days is pretty perilous.
Merely raising it will cause people to eye roll and say, really? 10,000 years of patriarchy? Now you're worried?
After all, women still earn only about 80 cents for every dollar earned by a man. Only a fraction of CEOs in the Fortune 500 are women. And they make up just a quarter of the members of Congress. And so far, no U.S. presidents. Numbers that leave UVM students Sarah Wood and Maxine Florteliza pretty skeptical that men are just treading water.
And I think it's really interesting that there is kind of like a big fuss about, like, not a fuss, but it's a conversation that people are having, but I don't think it's necessarily a problem.
I think that just the fact that the playing field has been a little bit more evened out shouldn't be the reason as to why men don't really know where they fit.
Sure. Do we need to do more to encourage more women into politics and into boardrooms? Yes. But meanwhile, can I not see that one group is struggling here and another group is struggling there? And if I can't do that, we're in really deep trouble.
And those in the most trouble, he says, are working class and African American boys and men.
Before, it used to be you graduated high school, goodbye, you're on your own. A lot of people said, hey, you're out of my house, or it's time for you to go. But we're understanding now that those supports need to continue. Principal Hill, how are you?
I'm wonderful.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Vaughn Washington is with the Kalamazoo Promise in Michigan. It's a program that offers high school graduates in Kalamazoo scholarships covering up to the entire cost of in-state college tuition. The impact? Well, the number of Kalamazoo women getting a college degree did increase by about 45%. But the number of Kalamazoo men getting college degrees didn't budge.
We're working with them, we're talking to them, we're trying to find out what is it that even with this opportunity, you have some of the same challenges as someone in another community that doesn't have this opportunity.
One solution, though, that does seem to be working is making sure that those men who are struggling have a place to freely admit they're struggling.
Do he have a cell number you can give me?
Staffers with the Promise are tracking down those men still eligible for the scholarship, finding out why they never used it, and helping them get what they need to finally do it. Like Daniel Joffrey.
I just started wandering around in life and doing random jobs, getting tired of random jobs, and
We welcome you here to the Kalamazoo Promise.
now I'm here.
Need help up here?
He joined with dozens of other men at what the Promise was calling the Males of Promise event.
It's important that you put something positive out here on your name and on your future.
It was as much straight talk as it was straight out party. Dennis Martin graduated high school 6 years ago. He says had the Promise not tracked him down, he might not have realized that he was indeed ready for something more.
I feel like now I have the discipline to be in a 5-year program or 4-year program, but as a kid, I feel like I was still bouncing off the walls and my mind didn't know what exactly is out there.
Back at UVM, administrators have changed their marketing and communication strategies to reach out to men, especially those who might not think they want to go to college at all. The college is also hiring a diversity coordinator to focus specifically on helping men.
The world was built for people like you and me to succeed.
All right. People, everybody see the video. I'm sure everybody has an opinion on it. I want to, this is my take on it. This is something I think I've noticed happening for a while now. And I see the despair sometimes in the young men these days. I was thinking in the clip that he even mentioned that some of the top things, that the emotions that they're feeling are a sense of uselessness or a sense of not being able to find their place or fit in. I'm not so sure where it all is coming from. Obviously, women are starting to surge, and I'm not knocking that. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But I think because the world was shaped in a way where men dominated for so long that our young men are now finding it hard to find a place when women seem to be taking up the space out there. What do you guys think?
Just the way that you just phrased what you just said. I don't think it's taking up space.
Okay.
In this day and age and environment, I've noticed the way that boys are being raised compared to back when we were being raised. They're not raised with the idea of wanting more. They're given everything. So to want more, you gotta know that there is more. You know what I mean? So for us, for me personally, coming up, school was very important. Although I never agreed with school, school was very important in my household. It was, you needed it in order to achieve this or get that or whatever the case may be. Where now the parents are just giving the kids everything. So they're giving them, even so much so as answers to your homework. They're giving them the answer. They're not letting them figure it out. So now you're in an environment of, I'm now 17 or 18 or 19 years old. I grew up being handed everything. What do I need to figure out? My mother needs to figure it out, or my dad needs to figure out for me, because that's what they've been doing my entire life. You know what I mean? And I think that's where the disparities come in. And then, of course, media has an influence where now men are feeling insecure about women making more money than them, about women doing more than them. And the women are just doing what they need to do out of necessity, because they're not going to sit back and wait for nobody to take care of them or to make sure they get this or make sure they get that. They're just doing it now. So the things have changed, and then in raising of the children, we're talking between 16 and 20 as far as going to college. Those parents were young parents You know what I mean? Having kids, and I'm telling you, I see it all the time. They give them everything. They give it to
Okay,
them.
but I don't think I agree with that. Well, but what's your take on Debbie? First of all,
I'm listening to y'all. You go say your.
You know, I think that the natural need to dominate females makes it tough to find a space when they are becoming more dominant.
Wow.
And so young men who of course aren't in tune with their emotions and things like an older person might be, find it hard to deal with. In other words, I can remember seeing a clip of the movie where a man said this about a racist. A racist killed his neighbor who was a black man. He killed his donkey. And his son said to him, "Dad, well, why'd you kill so-and-so's donkey?" And the white man said to his son, he said, "If you ain't better than a nigger, then who are you better?" And so I think, in a sense, a feeling of if you're not better than a girl, what comes to play in it all. Again, we have a society that's built with the focus being on men, and that's changing. That tide has changed a little bit. I'm not saying that women are going to dominate men, but their place has changed a bit. They're not standing behind us no more. That's for sure. They're not standing behind us no more. And I think for young men, this can be hard to deal with. If you're not better than a woman, then what? Then what? You're supposed to be dominant. At least that's what we're taught. Maybe that's partly due to how we're raised, like you mentioned.
These kids are not being taught to be dominant at all. I'm trying to tell you. We're not talking about back when I was young. They're not. I don't care what you disagree with. They're not. Take it from a person who is dating or was married, and I'm watching how they deal with their sons, and they're not.
When you say
teaching
they,
them,
who are you saying?
Women, parents.
Okay.
They're not.
So parents in general?
All of them. They're not. They're giving. What you mean? You disagree? You're not in it.
I can disagree.
You're not in it to
disagree,
see it.
100%.
Well, that's perfectly fine because the way you're talking is very chauvinistic.
The
way you're talking is very chauvinistic. I don't want to dominate no woman. I don't want nobody walking behind me. I want you walking next to me. I don't give a damn if you walk slightly in front of me. I don't care about none of that. They're not giving these boys the ingredients that they need to want to do it. I told when I was working at a job, for the holiday, making extra money. I told the supervisor, you're using 30-year-old work practices on children of today that are not the same as we were when we worked because we wanted to work. They work. We work because we wanted to work. They don't work because they want. They work because they have to. Because if their parents are not going to give it to them, oh man, I gotta go get a job now. So their attitude is not going to be the same. I see this day in and day out. Day in and day out, I see it. Their attitude is not going to be the same.
For me, when we're talking about parenting, I think for most part, a lot of fathers, because you said parenting, you didn't in general. Fathers teach their boys to be.
They don't.
To be. Well, that's your opinion, and that's your opinion. That's fine. Mine is different, but they do teach their boys to be men. Now that being said, and again,
show me one that does it today.
And again, me. What person? What man does not teach his son to be a man and prepare him?
I knew what you were talking about. That's why I wanted you to say it. I'm not talking about your son who is, how old is your son?
Wait, hold on. You said parenting in general.
How old is your son?
My son is a young man, but you said parenting in general.
Okay, how old is your son?
My son is 19.
Exactly.
Okay, and so
you are doing that. You are doing that.
Yeah, but you can't say that all parents aren't doing
They're not doing it. I promise you, they're not doing it.
And that's what I'm having a problem with
doing it.
That's not true. That's not true. A lot of men are out there trying to do what they can to bring their boys up to deal with this world out here
wanting
and
to
be
dominate somebody. You think it's based upon wanting to be dominated by somebody?
In the natural order, the way things have been.
That is not a natural order.
Let me finish. The way things have been and the way the world is constructed, the focus is on men.
And that's
because
why
the
the world is
built
fucked
mostly
up
by
now.
men.
That's why it's fucked up
Well,
right now
you can
because
say
of that
that, and
mentality.
people may agree, people may
Because of that
disagree,
mentality,
but
that's why
nonetheless,
it's
it is
fucked
what
up.
it is. And so
Because
now that
they not
that's
fixing it back.
changing, that's changing. The young men are finding it hard to, and I wish I would have played the rest of that video because they went on to even describe in detail the changes that they're seeing in the young men, how they're withdrawing because they can't seem to find their ground or their footing out here in the world because women are
they're not
surging, and
forced to.
there's no denying that. There's no denying that. You saw it in the video, you know. But the idea that parents aren't making raising their boys to be men or something
They're
is
not.
ridiculous.
They're not.
Okay, well that's your opinion. I just so happen to disagree with that.
It's not.
I think that a lot of men are doing what they can to prepare their boys out here, but the world is different. It is changing, and so I would say this: maybe as older men, it's a little more difficult to teach the younger men how to survive in a different environment, in like today's world is. That could be also a part, but that's something we need to talk about. It is a different environment out here, but we shouldn't feel like we're in competition with the women. We should be able to go on about your life and progress or however the way you want to without feeling like you're in competition. Just because Sally might be doing a little better than you shouldn't be a threat to you. I think that should be the focus and something that we should teach our boys growing up. That shouldn't be a threat to you at all. Women in different stages, or girls in different stages of their life, are just stronger than boys in certain areas, and that was pointed out in the video. Like academics, when we're young boys, we're a little stupid. Nah, I don't want to say stupid. We're a little, we're not as focused. Let me say that, as maybe the young girls are, and I think that's a natural thing. Girls have to plan for families. It's a whole different way.
Well, you know, there's one way in which the dominant culture layers that into education, and that is the dominant culture. Education is designed to dominate children, and
Okay.
so how do you dominate children? You have them all sit down and you be quiet, and that might work for the girls, but it doesn't work for the boys because they have I don't know whether it's testosterone or whatever it is in developed boys just have more energy and they can't sit still. And so our boys, because they're not quote unquote, especially black boys, because they're not quote unquote well behaved, they're not understood, they're not really seen, and because they need to run around. So then they're diagnosed as having ADHD and drugs, and they're given drugs, and they're labeled as bad when all they are is naturally energetic, and the education system needs to be modified for them.
And so, in certain points of our development, women are just stronger at certain things at certain ages, and we get stronger with certain things as we get older.
More mature.
Right.
We're more mature. Women are more mature. Yeah.
And I believe that's just the natural order of things. Women have to plan for families, raising kids, babies, things like that, and that's why I think they're more strong on certain things like.
Well, I don't know, because that implies that men don't have to raise children. You know, so men have to raise children the same. You know, these days they need the same qualities to raise children. They need to know how
necessity, but that natural feeling like that.
Well, naturally we have babies. But and the world has changed. There was a time when men needed to go out and hunt and shoot the deer and the bears, and now you can go to the supermarket to get your meat if that's what you eat. And so men now have a different role, and so you know the culture has to really redefine itself. Even when you talked about men at one point being very dominating. Being dominating is to me a sign of depression. A healthy human being doesn't have to dominate. And when we look at the white man coming over and killing off all the buffalo and stealing people's lands and tricking the Native Americans, people with healthy self-esteem don't have to kill off anything. It's the bullies who have low self-esteem that have to be dominated. So this culture is built on domination, which I think is a sign of low self-esteem, which I liken to not having faith in a supreme, in the universe. Like they feel they have to do more. They have to attack. They have to kill. They have to dominate. And that, I think, is that men may have been depressed for a long time, culturally speaking, and people didn't know it because they go rah, 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 and they look like they handling it.
And that's an interesting point. That is an interesting point. What I meant, what I said about the girls having that natural feeling, that natural sense of family and nurturing is they're born with that sense. Of course, men have to raise families in today's world. That's not a necessity. But I think, like if you go to most family courts, what you see is that the women end up with the children more than the men. The judge will look more to the mother. I guess what I'm saying, not all the time, but will consider the mother first when granting custody of kids. They learn this from their mothers growing up and everything. But that's neither here. The point I'm trying to make is that yes, women are stronger in certain things at certain ages, and as we get older, we get stronger at certain things at certain ages. But we were, I guess, because society is built in this way, there was always a feeling that men were always dominant over women. I think our history shows that. I don't mean the history of Black people. I mean the history of the world shows that. Women have always been in the background. And of course, now that that's changing, yeah, I think.
And there's a lot of power in the background. I wouldn't play women cheap just because we've been in the background, because I'll say the background is really what supports the foreground. You can't have a foreground without the background.
And as a woman, I wouldn't expect you to say anything else. But yeah, you're 100%. You 100. No, you are right. You are right. Even though some men might not, I think most men would agree that women are the backbones of the family and everything. I think that's one reason why the call is out there now for a woman president, because the feeling is that maybe a woman could lead the country better. But there you have it. But again, in a society where men have dominated for so long, and now we're more on an even playing field, the young boys are just, I guess, struggling to find their place. And in the film, in the video, it'll show you how they're withdrawing. Like I said, by employment, their employment rates are dropping while women's are going up. The detachment into video games in that world comes into play too, and they speak about it in the video. The video was so long, so I don't want to play the whole thing. But and you can see it. You can see it. I couldn't tell you how many times I see young men who much rather be home in their rooms playing video games than at a social event. You know what I'm saying? This need to detach from the world is that, and of course, video games make it easier. Now you got a virtual reality, whole world that you can live in, buy homes and everything. It's ridiculous. That's a whole nother subject. But yeah, I think young men are finding it hard to fit in today. I'm not saying blaming it all on women, of course. It's not all women's fault. No. A lot has to do with men. Maybe we just don't know how to raise our boys in today's society. And similar to what Boom was saying, old ways just don't work in today's world. Maybe
yeah, I thought that was a good point, that the supervisor was using 30-year-old practices in order to supervise
it's not
people
gonna work.
today. I thought that was a really good point.
So when they let me go, she said, "Oh, I heard you said I don't know what I'm doing at my job," and I said, "I never said that. I might have called you a moron, but I never said you didn't know what you were doing." You know what I mean? That's what I did. I called her a moron. I said, it's like, what? I don't understand how you don't see 30 years ago compared to now. It's like, what? These kids are so different now. yeah, Shaheem, you and Terry might raise your child to be the next president. Everybody ain't doing that, and I promise you they not. So you don't have to agree with me. I really don't care. Everybody ain't doing
The point
that.
I'm trying to make is
They're
that,
not
And you know
raising.
what?
that's a
We
pretty broad
really,
brush to use. That's the point I'm trying to make. You know, there are a lot of people out there that are like me and
Listen,
my wife.
they're yeah, but look at the age. What I said, the young people having kids are not teaching their kids to want anything. They're giving them everything. Is what I said.
yeah,
You're
that
not a
is
young
what you
person.
said.
Terry is not a young person. So yeah, it's gonna be different. If I had a child right now at 49, yeah, it'll be different. My child wouldn't. I'm not going to give them everything, but they're giving them everything. If somebody had a child at 15, they're now 30 and their child is 15. Guess what they get ready to go? They get ready to go to college and they're not giving them, they're not feeding them what they need. They're just giving them everything. I see it. I see it day in and day out. They're giving them the answers. They're giving them the this. I said, you are weakening your children. You think you're strengthening them or giving them something more than what you had because you didn't have it. No, you're hurting them.
That for me doesn't explain this feeling of this lost feeling that our young men are feeling. Now, when you say that they're giving everything, that these young parents are giving their kids everything, that might be true, but they're giving the girls the same kind of love and attention that they're giving the boys. I don't think they're saying, well, let's give the boys everything and hold back on the girls. They're giving the girls the same kind of love. So they're growing up in the same kind of house. You know, why do the boys feel like feel the threat from girls, even if it's not said out loud? It's to the point where, okay, if I can't be dominant over Susie in a particular thing, I'm just not going to bother. You know what you know what I mean? That
Could be. Some people say that, feel that way.
Right. And so the fact that young parents and they very well may be giving them everything, but like I said, if they're giving the boys that kind of love and attention, I'm sure they're giving the girls the same kind of love and attention.
You know what just came up for me? That the so-called lost boys may actually be creating a different way.
Okay.
You know, they may be the ones that say, hey, my version of being successful is not the version that society says makes a man
That's an interesting point.
successful. They might be the ones who are going to learn to, have compassion or have empathy, because the successful men in our culture are warmongers. I don't mean categorically. I mean in government. Excuse me, everybody. I don't mean.
I know what you mean.
But who sent those? Who who sent the Hamas people to attack Israel? Who sent the Israels to attack Hamas? I bet you there weren't women in there, though there may have been women parroting men, because sometimes you put women in leadership and they just copy what the men do in leadership. So, we really need different cultural values. And this value of going to war and having people killed, I'm like, and the successful men are doing that. So, and I think we also need to look a little more deeply at what we call success.
Good point. I think
we've spoken about that on several different shows as far as what success is to people, and success is measured differently by perception. You know what I mean? Me having this place right now.
The one with the piano in it.
That's right, absolutely. I'm gonna play it once the show is over. I'm gonna go over there and play it. But it's not. Yeah, it's just sunny and all that outside. All that is. But I forgot what I was about to say. Anyway.
Well, I will say this. This is definitely a passionate topic, and it's one that people need to be having in their homes as they're raising their boys. Like we talked about, maybe the way we were brought up or our parents brought up, it's just it's just not going to work with today's boys, and it has to be a refocus there. What are we teaching our boys? What are we teaching our boys?
You know, that practice when a man.
Go ahead, Auntie.
Go ahead, Boom. You're the man.
Go ahead, Auntie.
That practice in families when a man leaves the house either through death or divorce, and the woman says to the young boy, "You're the man of the house now." That practice, it is putting too much pressure onto a boy to copy a role rather than to evolve into something. So women, if your man is gone, don't you make that little boy the man of the house, and don't you make that little girl the man of the house. You need to recalibrate your house, but don't put that kind of pressure on a boy. It is intimidating. It causes he fears. It causes him to tense up and freeze up
Well said.
inside. But he can't let it show because he's the man of the house, and men don't show weakness. So,
Yep.
Man, to catch a bad break today, that's for sure. What were you gonna say, dude?
That's how we end up in all this major suicide rate and all that, because they feel like they failed, or they feel like they're useless, or they feel like
yes.
You know what I mean? It's that pressure. It's that I'm not living up to it. It's an analogy. One of the analogies I tell people is the whole prom thing. They go to prom and they do the stretch limo, the helicopter coming down, blah 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 blah. I said, well, what are you gonna do for their birthday? Like, so you gotta keep tearing up with the things that you're giving them, and they're not earning this stuff. We had to earn everything. I was a straight A student in school. I was a straight A student until my dad passed. And then I just didn't go. It wasn't that I was not smart enough to do it. I just didn't go after he passed, because he was the school person. After he passed, again, not agreeing with school, I left. You know what I mean? And I made a choice. I made a choice to go to the library every day and not hang out on the corner, even though I didn't have friends that hung out in the corner. But I wasn't just not going to school or not bettering myself. I just wanted to be done with school. I just never agreed with it. So I wanted more. And so if I had a son, or even with my daughters, I give you that knowledge. I give you the knowledge to do this and do that. Da, 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 da. I'm not teaching that. But I'm telling you, when you see these people, I just be like, I shake my head like, that little boy is going to run something in the future. Like, are you kidding me right now? This, I feel like it's doomed. That's exactly how I be feeling when I see it. Little boys is crying. I'm not saying we can't cry, but I'm telling you, no, you can't have that. They cry. What? It's a son and daughter. They told the son no. They told the daughter no, and the son is crying. Really? What are you crying for? What are you crying for? And that's what gives you that, like, what is going on? Why? Why are you crying?
Oh, good question. That's a good question. And it's a good question to ask the child. How do they say, use your words, not your tears? I think that's actually a teaching moment.
All the time. Like, what are you
it's a teaching moment. Yeah. What's behind those tears? Because a lot of people cry when they're angry. And and they're frustrated. So tears doesn't mean, it's sometimes a very strong way of manipulating people.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, there are some serious issues going on in society. Well, concerning this particular topic, and it's something that we definitely have to address. Our young men, have enough challenges out here without this yet being another one, and so we got to just make sure, I think, that our young men are getting the support that they need out there right now, folks. I mean, I don't think they're wimpy. I think they're just dealing with different challenges. 4 times the suicide rate of women. 4 times.
Yeah, that's painful to hear.
Oh, breaks my heart. And so we I think we as a society just need to do what we can, whatever we can, to try to reel in our boys. All right, go ahead, Bo. I'm sorry.
Real fast. I asked
go ahead.
one time. I said, "Are you raising your children to stay with you for the rest of their life, or are you raising them to be out on their own at some point?" You know what I mean? And many people can't answer that question. They can't. You know what I mean? Like you're not raising them to be out on their own. You're raising them to be dependent upon you. So why should they go to college? Why should they go to the military? Why should they go to what? You're raising them to be dependent upon you. So you say, if you say, not you in particular, but if you say go to college, they'll go because you said go. But if you didn't say go, they're not going. If you didn't say go get a job, they're not going to get a job because you got it. No, that's not, no. Get up. You're raising these kids to be on their own. That's what you're raising them for, not to stay with you, unless they have to stay with you. You know.
Yeah, and I should have played the whole thing, but it was so long, like I said. And they brought up in the video the fact that back when in our world when we coming up, there was always that thing that when you got 18, they were looking to throw you out the house. Well, yeah. My mom was no different, trust me. But in today's world, I think what we're seeing, and they brought it up again in the clip, and people, you can go watch that clip. You can find it on YouTube. Is that the boys are just needing a little more support before they're able to leave the house in today's world for whatever reason. I think it's just important to make sure that they're getting that. Four times the suicide rate of women. Clearly, there's a problem there. All right, folks. Y'all know what time it is. We got to start rounding things out because we also like to spend our day. We have things to do, and I'm sure you do too. So we're going to start rounding things out. Let's start it out like this. Boom, what you got coming up, family?
Man, oh man, I got another week of just being able to do things around the house here. I don't have no work, but then after that, like I said, I'm back to the grind, making it do what it do from DC to B-more to LA and back. I will be all over the place. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about getting things in order.
The hardest working DJ in the business. Oh, Debbie, you stay busy too. What you got coming up?
Well, this week I need to clean my studio, and what I call my studio is really a work table. And when I'm actively making something, it gets crazy. So I need to clean that up before I can go on to the next project.
All right, well, we can't wait to see the next project. You always do things that make
Me too.
All your art gets me thinking, and I really appreciate that about it.
Thank you.
Of course. And folks, as you all know, our son has his own clothing company, people. So we want to go check him out. He's making varsity jackets right now. It's definitely the season for it. So if you need a varsity jacket made, or if you want to check out his clothes, you can go check him out at tailormadeentertainment.bigcartel.com. And of course, yours truly, I like to stay busy too, doing my own thing. You can go see what I got going on, of course, on therealshaheem.com, or of course you can go look for gift ideas on our website, Hazy Trades. I'm sure you're gonna find something that for that special someone in your life. All right, now that we're coming to the end of the show, I think we're gonna be getting into what people look for in the best. Bear with me, folks.
Ain't no stopping sunshine. Ain't no stopping me. Ain't no stopping all the love that sets the people free.
Well, I'd like to use my platform to say I don't like it that every holiday the men have all of the sports on all of the little major networks, and I can't watch my shows. I think that shows a great gender disparity in favor of men. Too much sports on the holiday, around the holidays. So there.
It is.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's the last word for On Debbie.
That's the last word.
All right. It was a very, very passionate show. We hope y'all enjoy it. We love doing it for you. Boom, I'm glad you're back at your desk. The show's just much better when you're able to contribute the way we want.
I'm loving it.
At your desk, of course. People, we hope you enjoyed the show. We look forward to seeing you back here for another episode of From the Shore to Be More. Enjoy your day, folks. We'll see you next time. Bye.
DJ Boom Boom.